Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With the beautiful Puget Sound just to our west, you get a look inside CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Seattle Seahawks. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Texans, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their 5'11" quarterback from Wisconsin by way of NC State, and that's Russell Wilson.
I know teams always talk about having a 24-hour rule after a game, and eventually we end up rolling our eyes. But it works both ways, right? 24 hours if you win, 24 if you lose. But, boy, it's a fun 24 when you win the game. And you win NFC Offensive Player of the Week, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Gotta go.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget his main use, kick returner. Knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. On second down, here's Wilson. He'll buy some time right. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. On the defensive side here, the starters for the Texans, they've been pretty much a mess against the pass, number 31 in the league.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
They go play action with Wilson, sliding out of the pocket. He lets it fly for Lockett. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. So he scrambled right but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And a glance here at their quarterback, standing 6'3".
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Set, blue 90. Blue 90.
He'll drop to throw. Going deep for Hopkins. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
The numbers on the ground for Carson last week. 8 carries, 110 yards.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Hurry up, here we go.
They go play action here on 1st down. Dixon complete. And now running right through it. They give him a gain of 37. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and fake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
Second and 10 now from the 27.
Set, green 39, green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's He's in. Touchdown, Houston. Giovanni Bernard, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Texans are an extra point away from tying this football game. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Elliott good with a PAT, and we are tied at 7. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Or just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Carson. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance. This is caught inside the 15. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin, 47 yards.
Well, they just treated 3rd and long as simply an opportunity to make an even bigger play. Normally, you're just trying to pick up the first down, and you know where the sticks are. They took this thing way downfield. Confidence in the receivers to go up and make a play, even with defenders around them.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside my broadcast partner Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Out to his left. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. Well, he scrambled outside of the pocket, wondered what was going to happen there. He fired a dart. That's what happened.
He certainly did. Scrambled left, looked left, and then left it in the receiver's hands with some dispatch.
In the receiver's hands, in the end zone for the score. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
is able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now Bernard, and he'll get this only up to about the 35. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And some room to maneuver. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. That one's good for 35 yards on the ground and a 1st down.
We could talk about bend but don't break all we want, but the defense now, we're going to find out just how flexible and pliable they really are. Can they bounce back after that type of a run, that type of momentum against them, and find a way to slow down this offense?
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
All right, Captain, it's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-7. 5 plays there on that drive, and a 9-yard run on the end of it. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And heading back out there, Giovanni Bernard getting ready to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6. 2 yards on the 1st down carry, and then followed up by 2 yards on the 2nd down carry.
No, that's definitely not going to be enough to get the job done. Wasn't the expression 3 yards in a cloud of dust?
Now they're going to need 6 on 3rd down to keep the drive going. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end, and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's a handoff to Carson to begin the drive. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's a good way to start the drive. 17 yards and a 1st down. Two minutes to go here in the 1st half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our 1st half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the 2nd half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Right back to him on 1st down. Whoosh, dancing away at the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. They go play action now. Wilson forced out to his left. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back.
Holding offense.
So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
Play action. Now Wilson looking for the end zone. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And man, Charles, talking about singing something in there. Those gloves, they help with one-handed catches, the fun stuff. Any padding for a rocket like that?
One would think so, but I'll guarantee you this. After that throw, his hands will hurt later. Not right now in the moment. He's just feeling good about catching it.
Yeah, a little stinger, but a touchdown. Extra point attempt to follow here. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. T.J. Yeldon working his way back out onto the field. Now, I'm not going to say you completely abandon the passing game, but it would really behoove them to get this running game going more.
That's the identity most teams are seeking. Able to establish themselves, control the game by running it. have to touch it multiple times in order to have success in this game.
And as we say, yeah, that's right. As we say all the time, that sets up the passing game. I feel like a broken record with that.
Listen, we can be broken records all we want. Bottom line is, lather up that big horse and let him run.
All right, here we go. 319. 319.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Frank Clark in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now it's Lockett. A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. He sets to fire deep. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. So we're at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. Where was the Redskins who get the victory at home? Darius Geis, what a game. 3 touchdown runs in the victory. From there, let's make the quick trip up the Parkway and check in on the Ravens at home in Baltimore. And it was the visiting Dolphins who were able to get the victory. Kenny Stills, a strong performance there. And one final game to highlight. It's Monday Night Football. And they've got a good one this week between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype.
It's caught inside the 25. And he is finally out of bounds, but he gets all the way down right around the 20. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you, push them deep, find some space, and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. On the screen, Bernard. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on third down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
319. 319.
He'll look to throw. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's second and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Looking to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That catch good for 8, but still, it's third and goal now.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's fourth down.
This has kind of been the story all night long, hasn't it? An inability to really get much done on third downs, and it's costing them.
Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Elliott puts this one through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there, because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
Now, that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He lets it fly for Lockett. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. And it was a tight window. He knew he had to rocket that thing in there. He got it done.
And when you're able to complete one like that, your confidence has to just go sky high. You just mentioned it. Tight window, zings it in there despite excellent coverage. Result, touchdown.
Now the try here for the point after. Extra point right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. And we can break that scoring drive down pretty easily. One play, long touchdown pass into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out comes Houston. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's complete to the tight end, Hireman. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
I love the intelligence the defense just showed there. Read their keys, saw the screen developing, ran to it, and smothered it. What a 3rd down stop by them.
47-yard punt, a return of 4. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. Skirts by him at the 35. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. Penny, a 1st down carry. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set. I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times, trying to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. A gain of 32 that time.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on 1st down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
I know there would be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Here's Wilson to throw. There's Baldwin. Touchdown, Seattle. Doug Baldwin, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And this Seahawks offense continues to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
So they are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They'll set up to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Texans on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now back to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a 1st down there.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
They'll look to throw. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
A couple of 1st downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down.
Let's go. 3-19.
Back to throw here. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Man open, that's Kiki QT complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 32 that time.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a carry for Bernard. He's going to get 4 out of this as he's down to the 10-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
They'll run again with Bernard. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. Just a couple of minutes left now in this 4th quarter as we are back here on the NFL on EA Sports. After the field goal, here's Elliott to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Come on, in and out. Come on, tempo.
They begin with a run by Penny. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, giving them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now it's Wilson. Flushed out right. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a 1st down. It's 4th.
I thought he did a pretty good job there to get back what he could, but let's face it, that sack on 2nd down, talk about throwing a wrench into the works. He certainly did.
Yeah, he did everything he could there trying to pick up some positive yardage, and he did, but not enough. The Seahawks will go for it. It's Wilson. Steps away to his left. He can run for it, and he will. They're able to keep the drive alive. 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Oh, Wilson going to throw. They'll roll him out right. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. Tyler Lockett was the target there. And now it's second down.
Different pass rushes are designed for different things. Sometimes you want to keep the quarterback in the pocket. Sometimes you want him to flush. I don't know exactly how this one was designed, but they made sure they moved him to his right. He got out of the pocket. Unfortunately for him, he was hit as he tried to throw the ball, and that resulted in an incompletion.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
Now Wilson eluding the pressure right. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to. Because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.